Tyrese just recently went on The Breakfast Club, and he had an interview that I think was it was mind-blowing. He talked about how he dealt with death, depression. A lot of people might look at this interview and say, Tyrese is weak, he's crazy. This interview might be one of those classics that we look back at and be like, we really appreciate what he says and who he is and what he stands for. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Reese, you deal with a lot of grief. Like I think about, Brother Paul Walker, and I think about
John
Singleton, your mother.
Divorce. Both of my sisters died.
Your sisters. People don't look at divorce as grief, but you did. You lose things, You probably lost a lot of friends when you went through your mental health breakdown. Are you really, have you really taken the time to deal with all of that grief? Or do you just try to stay busy to avoid it?
Yeah, man, he's been through a lot. He really has.
I'm doing the best I can with every 24 hours I get. That's it.
Get some tissue for me, brother.
No, I don't need no tissue. Black men cry.
That's right.
The tissue. Every 24 hours I get, I'm doing the best I can. Beautiful Pain, 1992. There is no square footage I could ever live in. There is no rims, no jewelry, and no car. There is no net worth. There is no press release. There is no co-star. There is no collaboration in the world that could ever replace my mama. That could ever fill the void of what it's like to wake up and get married and want to be in something for the rest of your life. And it goes away.
You're making me cry.
Get Tyrese some tissue. I
don't need no tissue.
Man, you US, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I love you.
You've been holding this
Do
in
you
the whole
understand
interview,
how much power it is in letting it go?
Yeah, because you've been holding it the whole interview.
Okay.
I've been watching you.
You asked me the question.
I did, but
sure
I mean,
did.
I'm getting you some
You should have
tissue.
never asked the question.
This whole masculinity thing that's going around on the internet and all these gurus and all these people just saying how you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to act as a man. Tyrese, at this moment, you can tell that he's really been going through some things and he's really trying to cope with those things too as well. Men deal with a lot of different pressures, stress. It's always the pressure of being successful. It's always the pressure of being a provider, being manly, being masculine, being romantic. And if you're in business or a job, you might be over some people. You have to take care of them too as well. And then you got to come home and be the same thing. And it's never a time when you don't get a break. So even when you're dealing with things, you still have to come home and make other people feel adequate, even though you might not feel adequate. We have to stop feeling and acting like you can't express yourself, because that is a lie. I don't care who says that. Every single person that talks about, oh, you got to do this, and regardless of how you feel and all those other things, everybody gets emotional at one time. Mental health for men is a real thing that a lot of people avoid and they don't talk about because they feel like it's either going to make them weak or it's going to make them not a man as society says you're supposed to be. But the truth of the matter is, I think everybody that's even saying that is pretty weak to me, because they have to hide how they're feeling because they feel like society is supposed to tell them how they're supposed to act. And that's not true. They become alcoholics, or they start using drugs and they overdose or all these other things. Some of that is probably from the pressure and things that they face. And they feel like they're alone. They don't have anybody there that's to help them get out of those things. And one critical thing, I like what he said. He was like, man, I don't need no tissue. Like, men cry. If there's somebody important to you in your life that passed away, it's okay for you to have some type of emotion because you're a human being. That's how you're wired. Because if you hold that stuff in, it's going to come back to haunt you later on. And you're going to have to deal with all of that stuff at one time.
Brother, I love you. I love you.
How hard it's been to get through.
I love you. I love you, black man.
Okay, do you not cry?
Absolutely.
You might not bring it to the radio.
Absolutely.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
But this is what being grown
Thank
is.
you, brother.
Exactly.
I'm not doing this.
I need one. My makeup going mess up.
Hear me.
I consider
Hear
it
me.
sitting today.
Hear me.
That was real.
Black men cry. When divorces happen, women aren't the only one that are devastated. When a miscarriage happens, women are not the only one that you should be checking on.
Yeah, he's telling the truth.
When you can't put food on the table because your career goes up and then it goes down. Stop calling, skipping over the man, and just checking on the woman. This is real shit out here. I'm going to wipe my own tears.
Makeup. Messing up my makeup, Tyrese.
I love you, sis. When you do things from the heart, it affects hearts. That's what beautiful pain is. Y'all might outsell me the first week. I made a classic. Some of the most legendary movies in the world didn't do well in the box office. Baby Boy bombed. Do your research. Is it a classic?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is.
Is Baby Boy a
100%.
classic?
Hell yeah.
People didn't even know who the I was as an actor
You
when
haven't
that
seen
movie
Baby
came
Boy.
out.
see
Baby Boy, the only reason BET still got a network going.
Praise God. If the movie bombed in the box office, why is it the only movie that they still playing on BET every day? Don't confuse data and numbers and popularity with the reality of what affects hearts.
I was literally just saying that. Don't confuse popularity with what's really real and what's really happening in the world right now. He said real hearts affect other hearts. Meaning like when you do something that's from the heart, do something that's from the soul, do something that you're really passionate about, it will affect other people that are dealing with that exact same thing. And don't confuse numbers with success, specifically right away. That doesn't necessarily mean they're touching and affecting people in a positive way that's going to affect change. Because that's what it's all about. How are you going to help affect change for somebody else? Now, Tyrese he's had a lot of episodes where he's been up and down. And he talked about that. Do you know what it's like to be a man and not put food on the table for your family? That's hard. I can think when I first opened up my first business and I went to Albany, Georgia. I dropped everything and went to Albany, Georgia. I moved my family, my kids, everything. There were nights that I remember looking out the window constantly, just looking through the blinds. And you know what I was looking at or looking for? I was looking for a tow truck. Because I knew at any moment, any hour, any day, they were going to tow both of my cars because I wasn't making any money. I wasn't providing for my family at that time. I walked through my house and I had one couch from Rent-A-Center. I looked at my refrigerator. There was nothing in my refrigerator. I even had to walk to the dollar store to get a $1 can of spaghetti sauce and a $1 can of like noodles, a bag of noodles to make that. And here comes that masculinity thing, that pride thing. I was too afraid and didn't want to ask people for help, for money, for anything. One of my own employees had to take me to go pick up my car from getting repossessed. So here I am talking about this business that had all these opportunities, promoting entrepreneurship. And here I am, I can't even afford my office. I can't afford my rent. My car is getting towed. I had to ask my own employees that I'm preaching to, all this money you can make, hey, can you take me to go pick up my car? Dealing with those type of things can really break you.
As well as the Masked Singer when I did that show. Praise God for Nick Cannon. Shout out to him. I was really a masked singer.
Dang, that's crazy.
I needed that mask so bad.
Wow.
I needed that money from that show so bad. I didn't have it in me to go stand on that stage and sing. And praise God, I had a mask on because while I was on stage singing, if they had seen my face under that mask.
Right.
Listen, if it all ends for me tomorrow, I never sold you on fake. None of this jewelry on my arm is real. Don't love me because of no diamonds. Take all this. This bracelet right here look real as a motherfucker. This is $23 on Amazon.
Charlamagne, crazy.
Nothing. Hear me out.
I didn't think it looked good.
Charlamagne.
It don't look fake, right?
Crazy.
If you out here getting fake vagina over your fake jewelry, reality is reality.
Oh my gosh.
This is corny. It's all fake. It's all superficial. It doesn't mean anything.
A lot of people say that people that say money's not important are people that don't have money. Because there's always a debate. Money's not everything. Money can't buy you happiness. Money can't buy all these other things. Now, the truth is you do need money. Money buys time. Money can buy, new ideas. It can buy mentorship. But at the end of the day, money is not as important as a person and their sanity. You can have $1 million, but still be a drug addict. You can still be mentally abusing yourself, other people, but you can also have money and be a good person. But it's that key word. It's the person. It's what's inside of them. They say money only amplifies the good or the bad. All of it's a facade. And I like how he said, he kept it real. He said, all this stuff is fake, man. It's fake. Everybody acts like there's never any issues. There's nothing wrong with them. That's not real, man. That's not real. If I'm always around somebody that's always happy, they never deal with anything, they never have any emotions, I'm going to be a little nervous around them. Because if you can't express, and we're real cool, and you can't express anything that's happening, or you ever get knocked off your square, then I don't know if I can honestly trust your judgment. Because I don't care who it is, you're all going to deal with some ups and downs. He threw that jewelry off. Charlamagne started cracking up. And you could hear the young lady saying, some of it looked fake, some of it looked real to me. But what he's saying is, at the end of the day, that doesn't really make or break a person. Money can buy a lot of things to help you. You don't have the right mentality, you don't have the right mindset, the right heart, or whatever it is inside of you, none of that money is going to matter anyway. It's not going to matter, because either you're going to blow it, use it for the wrong things, and you're still going to be that same rotten person that you were before you had the money, when you have the money. So I gain more respect from the man from that. Definitely gain more respect from him from that.